Hi there, welcome to Island Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Scorpio energy. And for this round, we're going to do a 10-card spread. And we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives as usual because not everybody harnesses high vibe Scorpio energy. Some people harness a more worldly Scorpio energy. Some people harness a more shadowy Scorpio energy. And what could be going on in their life and how they're going to handle things in their life and what they're doing in their life is going to be different. Because life's about learning lessons. We all have our dualistic nature, our more immature, worldly, prideful, defensive, immature, indulgent, lazy nature. And life's about learning lessons to temper your more worldly, egoic nature, to treat people, to realize love is what makes relationships thrive and grow, and treating other people the way you like to be treated, tempering your more egoic nature, working together with people cooperatively. And, some people have learned some of those lessons more so than some other people. And if you also high vibe Scorpio, it's emotional water sign energy, wanting to be in deep, meaningful relationships. And some people don't want to do that. They're not comfortable. Maybe emotionally they're kind of immature and they're not ready for a deep, meaningful relationship. And we have to see the truth of that. And some people prefer to be in more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships, to use their emotions manipulatively in a relationship because they just got some lessons to learn and they may never learn it. They might like superficial and shallow relationships all their life. If you do love, you can get hurt. If you're going to do love, you have to be willing to be authentic and vulnerable and open to love and open to the fact that you might get hurt. And some people aren't willing to do that. The truth sets us free. We just need to see the truth of where people are at. Quit trying to change people. Get out of our ego about it. If we're not on the same page, we're not on the same page. Shadowy Scorpio can also be people that can be intimidating, controlling, narcissistic, and anybody. We all tap into Scorpio energy. How do we harness our Scorpio energy? There's all these different types of people in the world. Do we see the truth? Do we see the truth about ourselves? So anyway, let's get the rest of these cards out and see what's going on in Scorpio energy. And we'll get an energy oracle card, see what it wants to add to the story. Door to personal healing and happiness, and the reason it came out is because of Goddess of the Moon. Part of learning lessons in life is to listen to our intuition, which is what the Moon card can talk about. And we've all probably done some things in our life where our intuition was screaming at us, I don't think you should do this, I don't think it's a good idea, but we were sure it was going to make us happy and we wanted to go do it anyway. And that would be us getting caught up in illusion and ego. And we probably learned some hard lessons that way. Some people still don't want to listen to their intuition. Other people are listening to their intuition. Some people have illusions, again, about the moon. Pisces energy talks about, what our dreams are, what we think will be emotionally fulfilling. Some people are indulging their more immature nature and view of life. I do not want to listen to my intuition. I want to go do whatever the hell I want to go do. It's like, okay. Well, they got some lessons to learn in life that some other people maybe have already learned. The overarching reason for the reading is the Five of Wands, which is Leo energy. Are we operating from our egoic nature, or have we tempered our ego and we're no longer battling within ourselves? Some people are battling within themselves. One day they're maybe nice and kind and stable and grounded and loving, and the next day they're bossy or controlling or immature. Some people just keep going back and forth. It's like a tug of war. They're not balanced within themselves. High vibe energy is about being balanced. And since there's a maximum of 10 in every suit, 0, 1 to the 10 of Wands, the 5 can be viewed as being balanced. some people are balanced within themselves. They know they have a shadowy, immature nature. They also know they have a loving, intuitive nature. And they've learned that if I want to move forward victoriously, I need to maintain balance within myself and quit kind of going back and forth, indulging poor behavior in myself or indulging other people in their poor behavior. And I don't let my worldly egoic nature take more precedent. You know, we all want these things of the world. In our worldly nature, there are these things of the world that we want to be involved in and accomplish. But high vibe people also want love and authenticity and healing and growing and maturing. So they maintain balance within themselves. Yes, I want these things of the world, this door to personal healing and happiness, but I'm also going to listen to my loving, intuitive nature to guide the steps that I take, because I have this dualistic nature. I have, you know, my mind, my heart, my 3D world, my creative, passionate nature. They're all important, and I have to take them all into consideration. But until people have learned those lessons in life, they are probably going to go off in the ditch in different ways. Like, oh my God, my heart, I love them. And they're probably going to drive their life off into the ditch to a degree, like we all have, because their heart and their emotional nature is the most important thing. And they think that other aspects of themselves aren't as important. And some of those people could be really struggling within themselves, if it's their mind, if it's their defensive nature, if it's their worldly nature of lust or greed or pride or ego. You know, they still could really be battling within themselves. They haven't worked through some of the issues that other people have already went through and debated within themselves. And they've learned the lessons they were meant to learn. And those people are maybe no longer driving their life off into the ditch like that, because they've already been there and done that. You know? So we start out with the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, and then we have a card not showing itself. The Seven of Pentacles is Taurus energy, and it kind of has to do with the lessons that we've learned in life, and these lessons that we've learned and how we view life. And high vibe people are being careful about who and what they invest their time, energy, and effort into, because they've already learned these lessons in life. And I don't want to repeat some of those old patterns or ways of living life that I already know cause me inner conflict. If there's people in my life who I know the Five of Wands in a more shadowy Leo energy, where high vibe people are harnessing a more high vibe Leo energy, if I get in a relationship or work somewhere where I know people are very competitive or backstabbing or manipulative or controlling, I've already worked with people who are like that. I'm going to keep my distance from them. I want to find people who, in the Page of Cups, can be that kind of more authentic, loving nature of encouragement. You know, the Page of Cups is like a small offer. I want to work with people cooperatively, not being competitive, not getting in my ego, working cooperatively with people. And then we have the World card, the Six of Swords, the Justice card. The World card can talk about learning lessons in life. I used to invest in indulging my more immature, worldly, egoic nature. Well, I've learned lessons in life. The World card's about learning lessons. In the Six of Swords, I looked at life from a higher perspective. It wasn't just about me. It just wasn't about my ego. It wasn't, you know, some people have learned these lessons in life. I'm no more just about indulging myself in my ego. I've learned lessons in life. I've looked at life from a higher perspective. And I no longer think it's just and fair in the Justice card to be just about me. If I want to move forward with other people who have that hopeful, believing spirit, who look at life from a higher perspective, trying to bring a dream into reality, because the Six of Swords is Aquarius energy. also represented by the star card. If I want to work with people who look at life from a higher perspective, who aren't just about themselves, then those are people who believe they have the resources, and the magician has all four of the elements: the heart, the mind, the worldly nature, the creative, inspired nature. They believe they have the resources to manifest their dreams into reality in a more authentic, inspired, operating from enlightenment, right? I know how to treat other people in a just and fair way, treat other people the way I like to be treated. I want to move forward with people who are like that. And if I want to move forward with people like that, that's the energy I need to free willingly in my dualistic nature. That's what I need to align with within myself. And I do that by investing in loving my own egoic nature. The Five of Wands can mean the competition. I have a dualistic nature. If I want to make my life about looking at life from a higher perspective, having hope and faith and belief in myself and in my dreams, I've got to offer love to my own shadow nature. Like being a good parent to myself. I need to be like a good mother, father, coach voice to my own inner child nature that has these things that they want to go indulge in, and where I am more, we can't get rid of that nature within ourselves. We all have our more immature, egotistical, self-centered nature. And if we want to grow up and mature ourselves, we need to love our shadow nature, get balanced within ourselves. The Justice card is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. I have to see the truth. I do have a shadow nature. I can't just stay in denial that I might have some shadowy ways of being, because the truth sets me free. I have to acknowledge I even have a shadow nature. Shockingly, I think there's some people in the world that just want to stay in denial of the truth, that they even have a shadow nature, but they indulge in it all the time, but they don't want to see the truth of it. High vibe people see the truth. I do have a shadow nature. But I'm going to invest in my more loving nature to be in the driver's seat of my life, and my shadow nature is going to sit in the back seat. And I am going to maintain balance within myself. I'm going to calm down my more immature nature that would like me to live my life differently. And I am going to have hope and faith and belief that I do have the traits, qualities, and characteristics to manifest my dreams into reality. And in reality, at any given moment of time, we do have the resources to begin to manifest our dreams into reality. We just have to make the decision. I'm not going to indulge my more immature, prideful, egotistical, lazy, indulgent, lustful, greedy nature. If I want to manifest my dreams, I got to quit repeating an old pattern, and I need to see the truth. I need to keep life in perspective. I need to look at life from the bigger picture. I'm probably going to live 80 years. Must I have the things that I want in my life today, this week, this month, this year? No. It's about taking slow, steady steps forward every day. And we might take 3 steps forward, and then we take 2 steps back. And then we take 3 steps forward, then we take 2 steps back. But we keep staying focused on having hope and faith and belief in our dreams, not focusing on people in our life or our own shadow nature that says, no, 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 it would be just and fair to operate from our ego, our competitive nature, our prideful nature, our lustful nature. And then there's people in our life, because we have this dualistic nature, we have different people we can hang out with in the world. Are we investing our time, energy, and effort into the people who are loving and encouraging and supportive, want us to grow to our full potential, want us to believe in ourselves, want us to look at life from a higher perspective, to heal and grow and mature ourselves? Or we can have people in our life who don't want us to do that because they want to be in relationship with us, but they think it is just and fair to operate from their more worldly, egoic, or competitive, or immature, or bossy, or controlling, or stubborn, whatever ways of being. And we have to see the truth. Who are the people in my life that want me to turn my back on learning lessons in life and believing in myself? Who are the people in my life that basically maybe want me to stay in codependent energy with them, where I don't have hope and faith and belief in myself and my dreams, or step outside of societal norms, who want me to keep staying in my ego, staying in my fear, staying in my codependent energy, staying in my ego, staying in my lust or my greed or whatever, because that's how they live their life and they think it's just and fair. Whatever way we're living our life, we think it's just and fair. And there's people who don't look at life from a higher perspective, they turn their back to learning lessons in life. I don't want to heal or grow or mature myself. I don't want to look at life from a higher perspective. I don't think there is any other perspective than what my worldly egoic nature tells me. And that tells me it's either about indulging myself, and that's what I think will make me happy. I don't have to grow up and mature. I don't have to look at life from a higher perspective. I just want to indulge myself, or I want to find someone to indulge me. I want someone to be in a codependent relationship because that's how I live my life. I want to make my life about competing in the world and money or materialism or status or image. That's how I view life. I don't think there is any higher truth or justice to aspire to. And we have to see the truth of that. Not everybody, you have to even believe that there's something more to work with than just these things of the world, kind of our worldly, shadowy energy, kind of represented by the devil, our creative, inspired, hopeful, believing, imaginative, loving nature, intuitive nature, represented by God. Do we believe in the Magician card, which is Gemini and Virgo energy, that there's more to work with in this world than just being about ourself or just working with these things of the world? Some people think there is nothing else to work with, but I think there is this life-giving energy represented by God wants to give birth to new things. Look at all the things that human beings have created into reality since human beings first existed. We have indoor plumbing, light bulbs, cell phones, airplanes, heart surgery. That is because people listen to their intuition and their unique talent, skills, and interests to create things that had not been in existence before. And, sometimes it's even helping bring new things into the world by offering love to other people and encouraging other people to believe in their dreams and their unique talent, skills, and interests. Shadowy energy can be that, we're in our more competitive nature, because if we're all about the world and I want to have a certain status or image or have people view me a certain way, so why would I help those people? Everybody's the competition. If the world is about having a certain status or image, why would I kind of want to help other people to maybe do better than me? And high vibe people, it's not about their ego. It's like, I don't have some of those unique talent, skills, and interests, but that doesn't mean I want to stop those people from shining their light and manifesting what they can manifest and being all that they can be. But there is other people who don't like that. I don't like maybe that you're smart. I don't like that you believe in yourself. I don't like that you have a certain talent or skill or something that I don't have. I think it's just and fair for me to compete with you. And I'm in my ego that you have some unique talent, skill, or interest, or trait, or quality, or characteristic that I'm maybe jealous of. And so I might try to do things to get other people to turn their back to you. Shadowy energy. I'm in envy and jealousy and things like that. You can plant your life in some bad soil, or you can be in high vibe energy and love and encourage people to become all they can be, because you're doing that within yourself. And that some people got their own unique thing. It's like, hey, you go. Yeah, I can't be a math person. Yeah, I can't be a music person. Yeah, that's not my thing. But you go. I just respect that everybody has their own unique things, just like I might have my own unique thing. And I don't want people being in competitive energy about my unique talent, skills, or interests, just like I don't want to be in competitive. If it's something I think I could get better at, hey, I like singing too. Maybe I'll do more singing if I like it. Why stay in competitive, kind of immature energy when you could put work and effort to feel proud of yourself that you kind of grew in that area or talent or skill to the best of your ability? Sometimes even in workplaces, people can be really competitive and jealous and envious of other people. What a rotten kind of way to live your life. You can be in shadowy energy if you want, or you can get out of your ego and just accept that other people are better at certain things than I am. And thank God they're here. I can't be the IT person and the manager and the employee and the all the other different jobs. I can't do it all. And I'm glad that there's other people here who know things, and I encourage them to keep knowing things. But you might have had to walk away from some people who, in their Libra Leo energy, think it's just and fair to align with their more worldly nature, immature nature, stubborn nature, egoic nature, competitive nature, because that's just not your truth. And then we have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And then over here we have the Six of Pentacles. We go from the Seven of Pentacles down to the Six of Pentacles. Letting go of investing in certain ways of being within ourselves. And when we kind of quit indulging our more fearful, insecure, codependent, lack of hope and faith and belief nature, when we let go of investing in that and we invest in loving ourselves and growing ourselves up, looking at life from a higher perspective, no longer thinking it's just and fair to align with my more shadowy nature, we're going to quit kind of hanging out with some people in our life because we probably did offer them love to move forward with us. But if that's not what they choose to do in their free will, and they want to keep living life the way they live it, we've been there, we've done that. I don't want to live my life like that anymore. I have a dream and I want to go invest in my dream. And I've kind of gotten out of my ego about it, my inner conflict about it. And I am going to move forward to incorporate love into my philosophy of life, because both the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy about our philosophy of life. And I kind of view the sevens as kind of like a tipping point. We've kind of tipped into being more one way or the other. And we all grow up in the world, and we've all been children, and we've all been in codependent energy, especially when we're children, where we do look to other people like we did our parents to emotionally fill our cup, make us feel stable and grounded. And then even as we can get out of high school and living our life, we can still be in more codependent energy, kind of looking for someone to play that role in our life because we haven't learned to take over that role within ourselves, to love and believe in ourselves, and learn how to maintain balance within myself to offset my own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, and investing in loving myself. And I think the hardest lesson to learn is to learn to love yourself. So that can take decades. Otherwise we keep staying in this codependent energy, looking for someone else to love us and validate our worth and value. It's like, I need to love myself and validate my worth and value, and I need to appreciate what I bring to the table, and I need to learn to love myself to play that role within my own life so I'm not being tipped out of balance, indulging poor behavior in myself or others. And so we initially can get into friendships and relationships and workplaces when we are in more codependent energy, because we maybe didn't believe in ourselves and believe in our dreams and really maybe how to learn to love ourselves. It doesn't mean you couldn't have been loving to other people, but that could have been a pattern that you were repeating. I'm really loving and giving to other people to try to get them to change. The fives can talk about change. But if there's people in my life who want to work together with me in a relationship from love where there's equal give and take, I'm not used to that. That's like outside my comfort zone. I'm used to investing in maybe people who are, I could feel, a little more emotionally mature or defensive or conflicted or whatever to try to get them to choose love. But for me to be in a relationship with someone who treats me the way I treat those people, oh, that's weird. No, I haven't been in a relationship with someone really who does that. And I kind of reject that because I haven't really learned to love myself. I can be loving to other people, but to be in a more balanced, just and fair relationship, then I can have a problem with that. And I could have rejected people before. And so then we repeat this pattern. We keep trying to bring a dream into reality with people that we're kind of mismatched with, where we're not really both maybe having hope and faith and belief and love. We're trying to get other people who might be more worldly focused, defensive focused, ego focused, immature, indulgent, or bossy or controlling, or whatever they are. And we're trying to convince them to do love. And I don't know about you, that hasn't worked for me. And that's when eventually we see the truth. I can keep doing this if I want, but I'm starting to see the truth that my dream is never going to come into reality because they just don't view life the way I do. And I might have freed myself and learned some lessons in life that does make me be a more open, loving, giving, nurturing, supportive, authentic, willing to do love, but I might get in relationships with people that isn't the conclusion they came to in their life when they debated within themselves about their philosophy of life. And their philosophy of life is, nope, I'm not going to do that. I get hurt. I maybe don't love and believe in myself, or I'm more about the world. And I'm done trying to bring a dream into reality with people who are more aligned with their defensive nature or something. And I see the truth of it. And I'm going to let them go live their life the way they want to live it. I'm going to quit trying to change them. The only person I can change is me. And maybe during this whole process of these different people I've come into contact with in my life, which I think the whole point is to try to help us get more clear about what our truth is and what our truth isn't. And the truth is we can love people, but we're not on the same page as them. You know, our dream of the idea of the dream life and dream relationship is different than their idea of the dream life, dream relationship. What they're motivated and inspired by is different than what I'm motivated and inspired by. And it's just that to wish him peace, that's a page of cups. I wish you peace, but I see the truth. We are motivated by different things, and I've gotten out of my ego about it. Like feeling rejected, like, oh my gosh, but you have to love me. Oh my gosh, you have to want to bring a dream into reality with me. But I want to do it based on love, and you might want to do it based on something else. And it caused me a lot of mental conflict and inner conflict to be in a relationship with someone who isn't motivated and inspired and manifesting more from love. They might love being in a relationship with you, they might have love for you, but theirs might be a more transactional relationship where we should be in the relationship. I have these things of the world, you're loving and nurturing and supportive. Let's get in a relationship and work together. It looks victorious and successful, but you could feel like, you know, if we're operating from our more egoic nature, it is like they're being defensive to really being authentic and loving. And so then you can feel like they're in the relationship more, kind of indulging in it. It's good for their ego or their image or their status. They want you to maybe be more codependent, don't like it if you get more balance within yourself. don't like it if you start to have more hope and faith and belief in your dreams. Because when we first could have gotten in a relationship, it was kind of more of maybe a mismatched relationship. One person's more giving and loving and encouraging. The other person might be liking the scales of justice to kind of be tipped in their favor a little bit, slightly, all the time. And as we heal and grow and mature ourselves from getting out of things that caused us inner conflict to be more balanced within ourselves, we're not the same person we were. And then we want, love is supposed to be about equal give and take and treating other people the way you like to be treated. And so then we've changed, and how we view the world and kind of what drives and motivates us is like we're ready to go to the next phase of life because we have changed. We're not the same person we were before. But when we change, not other people in our life maybe haven't looked at life differently, haven't healed from some of their fears or insecurities or self-limiting beliefs, and they're still more about indulging themselves or their more worldly nature, and we're not. And then it's kind of a mismatched relationship where before it could have been imbalance. Now the one person is no longer out of balance and they're like at the fives again, can be like level. But the other person, now it's out of balance, and it does cause conflict and fighting because people aren't reacting the same way they used to react. They don't think the same way they used to think. They don't get triggered the same way they used to be triggered. They're not indulging in the poor behavior within themselves, or the more indulgent nature within themselves, or the more prideful, or the more materialistic, or the more immature. But the other person still is. And so it causes this conflict and fighting in a relationship because it's either not equally out of balance equally, or there's not equal give and take. And people have different ideas of what they think is just and fair. Some of the people want to keep doing things the way they were doing it. And if you're not going to do it the way they want, they kind of want you to leave. And they want to leave. Because if they were like this type of relationship, doing things the way they've done it, don't want to do life differently, they want to go find people who are on the same page as them. The other people want to go find people who are on the same page as them. In a more shadowy way, we would say that people more love the world and maybe looking like a shining star in the world, being the center of attention, having people indulge them in some way, and they think it's just and fair. And that is how they want to keep manifesting, and that's what they love. And they want to go get in relationships with people who are willing to keep living life like that, the way they want to live their life. And the other people want to go get in relationships with people who they think are ready to do a more just and fair and balanced relationship. Maybe more worldly Taurus energy can be more about the ego and the image and the indulgence and the money and the materialism, or just abiding by kind of like these invisible rules that people have in their head, like, well, I have to wear this and I have to act like this and I have to be with those people and I have to hang out with those people. It can all be more about trying to create an image about who you are in the world to conform to the world. And other people have looked at life from a higher perspective, and I just want to be authentically myself in the world, get rid of all the invisible rules. I want to treat people with love and respect and enjoy my life and treat people the way I want to be treated. And if I hang out with certain people or I go do certain things, I'm doing it from love and acting in high vibe energy from character and integrity. I'm just living my authentic life. And some people could be like, oh my gosh, did you see who they were talking to? Did you see how many times they were at that place? It's all this stuff. Like, if we go do it, then it's okay. If other people are just doing it, oh, well, no, that's not, it can be judgmental and stuff like that. And other people are like, high vibe energy is about being independent. From truth and love and justice and fairness and character and integrity, I just want to go live my life. And I don't want to be manipulated by all these things that society or certain people can try, shadowy energies about those things that try to limit us, oppress us, confine us, restrict us. Some people like to control people. They like you to be codependent on them. Like they're the parent and you're the child. And they don't like you being more independent and believing in yourself and believing in your dreams. And if you do, and if their tactics to try to make you stop doing that and do the relationship the way they want doesn't work, well, then they want you to go because they might like to repeat that type of relationship where I have this way of viewing life. You're supposed to be more codependent on me. You're supposed to follow my lead. It's about my wants and my needs and my lust and my greed and what I'm trying to manifest. And you're just supposed to love me. But it's really more about me. So, let's go see what's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Scorpio energy that they might not see coming up. The Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Why? Because of the King of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So the Queens in Tarot can talk about how we think and feel. And I also view the Queen of Pentacles, like the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, as Taurus energy. Some people, they're holding one pentacle, and in high vibe, that can mean that they learn lessons in life. Could have just been, I kind of got out of my more worldly competitive nature, kind of being caught up in the illusion of the world, or my more codependent nature, and I did look at life from a higher perspective, and I no longer kind of am interested in making my life more about the competition and competing in the world and ego and image. I want to manifest my dreams and invest in things that I really love. And I also want more equal give and take. And I want to feel more balanced within myself. And before, I could have felt like I was kind of tipped out of balance. And it was causing me mental conflict and inner conflict. And I could have been hanging out with some people that seem to have mental conflict or inner conflict. And I could offer them love and encouragement, but if they never do that work within themselves to get more balance, then I keep being in a relationship with someone who's kind of tipped more out of balance in some way. And I can't make people do the work within themselves or look at life from a higher perspective or get more balance within themselves or love and believe in themselves or free themselves from the things that manipulate them. They have to free themselves. And I see the truth of it. And I let people live their life. Everybody's got to learn. Sometimes we got to let people learn lessons the hard way, just like we did. And we wish them peace and love. Hope it works out for you. But I'm moving on. And I'm going to go live my life. And why? Because of the King of Swords and the Ten of Cups. What you think is just and fair and what you find emotionally fulfilling, the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Cups is Pisces energy. Maya, which is about our dreams and what we find emotionally fulfilling. What you find emotionally fulfilling and like to indulge in or how you like to live your life, and that could make you happy, but I've realized it doesn't make me happy. I did get clear about what my truth was, and it's not that. I don't want to make my life about indulging my more immature worldly nature. And you still might. And that's fine. Go live your life. But I want to go invest in my truth and what I think is just and fair. And it's not this. And I don't want to be in a more transactional relationship. I want to be in high vibe Leo, an authentic, loving, warm, encouraging relationship with people who I feel are more balanced within themselves, the King of Swords, Libra energy. People who are more balanced within themselves than tipped a little bit out of balance, more about indulging themselves in the world or just indulging themselves. And I'm going to go have these new beginnings, invest my time, energy, and effort into people who I think are on the same page as me. And as we're moving forward, the Page of Cups could talk about that we are making offers to people. Some of the people in our life could be like, sorry, I'm not interested in the competition, which you would be the competition, because I've already manifested a new beginning with someone who was on the same page as me at the same time. And I think I have that just and fair and balanced, emotionally mature, loving relationship with them. And then we need to deal with the truth of that. Oh, I thought maybe that person would think it was just and fair to be in a relationship with me. But if they've already are manifesting that with someone else, we have to accept the truth of that. Just like there can be people that we want to be in friendships with, or have a job with, or be in a romantic relationship with. And what we could think is something we would like isn't what someone else think is the right fit for them. And it can go both ways. We've all experienced that. We need to deal with the truth of it, maintain balance within ourselves to not get in our ego about it, and we keep believing in ourselves, and we keep moving forward in love to keep finding the people and working with the people that are in our life who work together with us in that energy. And if we're not in a romantic relationship, we keep investing in our truth and acting with character and integrity as we maintain balance. And then I think as you do that, other people see that you are this emotionally mature, just and fair and balanced person. You're not investing in immature, lustful, greedy, prideful, whatever energy. And some of those people, if they feel like they're in a relationship with someone who is kind of more like that, and be like, why am I investing in those people? Here's someone I could really manifest love with, and I'm going to quit living my life the way I've been living it, or some of the people I've been hanging out with, to go invest in the people who I think are really more on the same page as me. And as you meet people, as you're moving forward, if you do find someone who you think your intuition is telling you that this person is on the same page as you, the people that you meet as you're moving forward, or anybody who might approach you or you approach, if your intuition tells you, after the Pentacles can talk about investing some time, energy, and effort to get to know people, and then your King of Swords is kind of protecting your more loving nature. I will get to know people. Initially we could move forward in a relationship, and we're just getting to know each other, find out what people's truth is, what they think is just and fair, what drives and motivates them. If it is decided that they are on the same page as me, then is when I will invest more in them emotionally. But I'm not going to get myself emotionally tangled up by maybe jumping into a relationship, because we're emotionally complex human beings and it can be hard to get yourself unentangled. That I'm going to wait until I know what their truth is. Okay, well, let's stop here for a minute and look at what this card is. The Seven of Wands. If you previously invested in some people, which the Seven of Wands, like the Five of Wands, is Leo energy, you're harnessing high vibe Leo energy, and anybody can harness more high vibe Leo or a more worldly, shadowy Leo energy. You previously could have been invested in your more defensive, egoic nature, and you maybe needed to take this time to get balance within yourself. And something else you could have previously invested in that you thought was a victory worth defending, you could have found out it wasn't. And so you have to take that time to work through that, to be free of it, and to get yourself rebalanced, refocused on your new dream and what you want to manifest. And then when you're ready, that is when you will make that offer, which could be to look for a new job, a new friend, or a new romantic relationship. Same way the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you are just looking for a new job or thinking about getting a new job. For others, it's healing from a relationship that didn't work out and taking this time to get balance before you are ready to go back out, or that, okay, I've let that go. I am ready to go meet new people. And you let go of people who you think are more aligned with their philosophy of life is more about themselves or ego or image or money and materialism or indulgence or immaturity. And you've cut them out of your life. You learn the lesson you're supposed to learn from it. So that means you get to have these new beginnings. And while you're moving forward in new beginnings, other people might move forward in a new beginning, worldly, shadowy people, but they're going to be repeating the same pattern, because we repeat a pattern until we're willing to see the truth of it. And because some people keep investing in kind of indulging their more immature egoic nature, they keep being manipulated by it. And so they're going to keep moving forward, being the same person at the next job or the next friendship or the next romantic relationship as they kind of really were in the last one. Because we have to see the truth. How do I contribute to things not working out the way I would like them to work out? Where do I need to heal, grow, and mature myself? Do I have hope and faith and belief in my dreams? Am I fearful? Am I insecure? Do I get caught up in illusions of love and end up investing in kind of more immature people? I need to quit doing that if I don't want to keep repeating that pattern. And we just need to see the truth that there are people who are more invested in being more about themselves, defensive, to really authentically manifesting from love. It's more to create the illusion. The magician creates an illusion, and kind of more shadowy Pisces energy can be people who kind of try to confuse people about the truth. They could love, like to get in relationships, like to enjoy relationships. Oh my gosh, this is great. I look like I've moved on. I look like a shining star. This is great. I got someone to indulge in a relationship. But then when people really want to bring the dream into reality, where it really is being more authentic and vulnerable and getting out of your ego, that's when people realize that people were hiding the fact, oh, well, no, I'm actually defensive to love. I get hurt doing that. Fire energy, I'll indulge in a relationship with you. I just won't really emotionally, authentically invest in it. I'll have sex with you and I'll enjoy life with you, but I won't really invest in it. And then people have a problem being in a relationship with them. I feel like you're manipulating me. I feel like you're in this relationship like it's more transactional, or it's more about your ego and image or lust or greed. I want to be in a relationship with someone based on love. And some of those people that other people got out of relationships with them, they went to go invest in a new one. Well, some of the people they're in relationships with could be starting to have mental conflict about staying in a relationship with them too. You can get in a relationship, you can have hope and faith that things will progress, but then as time goes by, it's like, is this ever going to really become what I wanted it to become? I kind of get the feeling that you're hiding, that you're kind of really defensive to manifesting from love. I might like the relationship. You could be loving and nurturing and supportive in a way, but I kind of feel like I'm in a relationship with your false self, your egoic defensive nature, your cardboard cutout person, instead of being in a more emotionally mature, just, fair, authentic, and loving relationship. And I don't want to settle for the illusion. I want the real deal. And so then some of those people could be leaving their life. So what's coming up for people who harness some more worldly or shadowy Scorpio energy? So, in high vibe, you're being truthful, honest, just, fair, trying to act with character and integrity to the best of your ability based on your maturity level in life. You know, we could have done that at age 15. We got in relationships with people who were 15 years old. We were all on the same page. When we were 25, we acted like a 25-year-old. You know, it's just depending on where you are in your life, right? But there could be some people that, we just feel really haven't looked at life from a higher perspective. They're caught up in these things of the world still, which are things that we're not caught up in anymore. Or we've just learned some more lessons than they've learned, or we're just more motivated by love and they're kind of motivated by other things. What's coming up for the more shadowy people? We have the Queen of Pentacles because of the Star and the Eight of Cups. Well, everybody can view life the way they want to view it, but some people do have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship, and they really are kind of immature, and they might want to try. If you're not being truthful and honest and just and fair, you're kind of trying to confuse people about the truth, and you're really kind of trying to manipulate them for whatever reasons you want to be in a relationship. And what they don't maybe ever see coming or understand is that if they try to get in a relationship with someone who is more emotionally mature and loving, more so than they are, the emotionally mature people have a dream and they want to have that dream come into reality. The Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups, which can be the emotional confusion and the illusion. And they love themselves enough to give themselves that cup of love that if I start to feel like someone's kind of being manipulative or controlling or superficial or shallow or something defensive, I love and believe in myself enough that I want that dream to come into reality. And I'm willing to offer myself that cup of love to get out of relationships where people seem to not want to be more just and fair, where they want to keep being able to manipulate me in some way. Maybe use the love that I have for them to manipulate me, or try to get me in competitive energy. Like, well, if you don't indulge me, maybe I'll turn my back on you and I'll go invest in someone else. Whether that's I'll pay more attention to my family or my friends or work. If you don't do things the way I want, I know you love me. I know I'll be able to get you upset, get you in your competitive energy. And eventually people realize that's not loving. That isn't how loving people act. If you were someone who was inspired to be more just and fair and authentic and loving and act with character and integrity, you would. And if you were interested to manifest from love, you would, and you don't. And eventually people are willing to walk away from this dream that they had with someone. Your idea of the dream life and my idea of the dream life is different. And I love myself enough to quit investing in you from the 7 down to the 6. I let go. I no longer find this to be like a solid, stable thing to invest in anymore. And I offered love to get out of my own ego and to stand up for myself, to quit moving forward with people who I think try to manipulate my loving nature, and people who think it's just and fair to try to cause me inner conflict or to manipulate me or control me. And I'm going to believe in myself. And then those people walk away from these types of people. And some of those people are like, no, I refuse to see the truth. I'm not manipulative. I'm not immature. I'm not manipulative. I'm not superficial and shallow. I'm not more egotistical or more materialistic, but they are. But if they want to keep staying in denial of the truth, they can. That's their free will choice. And some people never want to see the truth about who they are. And so they never move forward in life any differently. It's like, Okay, that didn't work out. Yeah, I have mental conflict. Yeah, I'm kind of in my ego about it. Why didn't those people stay in a relationship with me? But instead of dealing with the truth of it, it's like, oh, I've got an idea. I'm going to go get in a relationship with someone else, and I'm going to use these same ways of being in the next relationship. I'll try to create an illusion about why that relationship didn't work out, and I'll try to make them view me as this pillar of society, this stable, grounded, nurturing, loving person. And they can be that type of person in a relationship, and that's why you can be drawn and attracted to them, because they seem like they're like you. But when it does come to having to look at life from a higher perspective, and if the people that they're in relationship change and heal and grow over time, the truth sets us free, and these people never want to deal with the truth. So they keep repeating an old pattern over and over, and it's like they're kind of faking the level they're on. If you were to look at life as a video game, somehow they're trying to get in a relationship with someone who has overcome obstacle and challenges on a level of life where those things no longer manipulate them, and those people they're maybe loving and nurturing and supportive and encouraging people. Those things on that other level no longer manipulate them. And they really are on that level in life of learning lessons, but they're trying to get in relationships with people who aren't manipulated by the things they're manipulated by. And if they don't want to do love, they're trying to get in relationships with people who do have hope and faith and belief in love, because it's nice to be in relationships with people who are like that. But that's not who they are. And it's kind of like they want the people they get in a relationship with to give up their dreams of being in a relationship with someone who really is on the same page. Let me create an illusion about the truth of who I am. I'll make you think I am willing to authentically be loving, but I'm not. And so that's like committing fraud in a relationship. And some of them know that going in, but they want to be in a relationship with someone who's like that. I don't want you acting like me. I don't want you to be defensive. I don't want you to want to be the center of attention. I don't want you to be immature. I want you to indulge me in a relationship. I want you to be loving and nurturing like my mom or my dad. And I get to keep being immature. And I don't have to grow up or mature myself. I don't want to deal with my inner conflict. I don't want to be more balanced. I don't want to have to grow up and learn how to be more just and fair in a relationship. You're supposed to indulge me. That's my philosophy of life. I'm still like a child in the world. And if they can find someone who is willing to indulge them in that way, then that would be a just and fair relationship. And it might be someone who is more about these things of the world and looking like a shining star in the world, who also doesn't believe there's any other purpose for being on this planet than to have a certain status or image or indulge himself in the world. And they could think it's just and fair. They could be in very competitive energy too. This will look like I've moved on. It'll look like we're these pillars of society, that we have this certain status and image in the world. Let's indulge ourselves in these things of the world and kind of indulge ourselves in our more worldly nature. And that would be a just and fair relationship. They just might be in a relationship with someone also who, isn't could look like, in a way, looks like they're an emotionally mature, stable, grounded person. But they both might have some problems about being more just and fair and tempering their more immature, egoic nature. And they both might be people who kind of use their gifts and talents and skills and resources in a relationship to manipulate people to get what they want. And it's just not a more authentic, balanced, honest relationship. Could be more about the illusion it's creating in the world. But that would be a just and fair relationship because they're both on the same page. Other people aren't as much about the illusion and the ego and the image, and they really want a more balanced, authentic, insightful, emotionally mature relationship. So everybody's going to move forward in life based on where they're at in life, at their maturity level, what motivates and inspires them. It's just that some people will be moving forward in a more authentic type relationships. Other people, it might be more about the illusion. So there you go, Scorpio energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.